How are you doing? So today let's see how byte pair encoding works. So before that, what is byte pair encoding? Right. So in the previous video of tokenization, we saw how a piece of text get chunked into multiple tokens, right? So this is the first step in LLM training, right? So before you feed in a large, the entire internet text data or whatever data to the transformer model or the LLM model, you need to tokenize the information, right? So you need to tokenize the text using a process called tokenization. And byte pair encoding, also called as BPE, is an algorithm used to tokenize this text. So I have mentioned several steps on how byte pair encoding is carried out, right? And I'm going to explain this with with an example, right? So you can look into this text, right? So the original text is AAA, BD, and then followed by three A's and BA and C. So this original text is tokenized into four different characters here, right? So you see few of those characters have been merged to form a new character, and this is the process of byte pair encoding, right? So you chunk the entire text, the original text, into byte pair encoded tokenized output. Okay, so we'll see how byte pair encoding chunks this text into the four different output you see. Let's start. Okay, so the input is broken into individual characters. So that's the first step here, right? So you see the original text, you just take each characters and put them into a list, right? Make sense? Now, the second step is to count the frequency of each characters occurring nearby. Okay, so just check how many times the first character A appears or is adjacent with the other character. Okay, so you just have to take a tuple meaning uh, an elements, right? Group of elements. So in this case, you see A and A is repeating 5 times, right? So if you see this, right? So first here it's one, and then the second A and the third A are close to each other, right? So you have 2 times, and the third time is here, fourth time is here, right? So you have almost 5 times A and A are repeating, right? So this is counted as 5, right? And what else are the other things? So you see A, B twice, and then B, D, D, A, A, C are just once. Okay. Now the idea behind byte pair is to merge the frequently occurring pair. Okay. So in this case, the first frequently occurring pair is A comma A. So this gets merged, right? So you see the three A's which are repeating can be merged into AA, right? So you merge A and A as a single A, and then this A and the third A can be merged into a single A. So you, in the end, you get AA. Fine. If this is clear to you, you can proceed with the next step, right? So you don't see B having is part of any of the not having a decent count pair, right? So we are going to ignore B and keep it as its D also the same. Then comes the three A's again, right? So you merge this, you get two A's, just like the first example we saw, and then we have B, A, and C. Now you see the reduction in the count of tokens here, right? So earlier we had around 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You had 11 tokens. Now they have been reduced or rather compressed into 7 characters, right? Now we are going to repeat the same step again, right? So now we have a modified input now, right? So from 11 we are down to 7. Now you consider this as the input and repeat the same process. So in this case you see AA is being repeating twice along with B, right? So here once and this second. So this is 2, and remaining everything else is just once, right? So we can merge. Now we can merge A comma B because that is the frequently occurring pair. Now this gets merged to AAB, and then you have D which can't be merged, and then same AAB and then a C. So now you again repeat the same step again. You see that the count of all these things nearby tokens are just one, right? So this can't be compressed further, and this is how the algorithm stops. Okay, so you can check the input and the output. It should match with what we first discussed, right? So this is how byte pair encoding works. It has almost any LLM you see, they use some tokenization process, and you there are few LLMs which use byte pair encoding, and there might be some other LLMs which might use a different tokenization process. So it's difficult to cover each tokenization, but byte pair is one of the commonly used tokenization. So that's why I thought this would help you guys to understand that tokenization process. Okay, so if you guys like this video, subscribe it, share it with your friends, and if you have any constructive comments, please feel free to share it with me. Thank you.